In this video, I am going to be explaining what to do when you first get served with a restraining order. My name's Veronica. I'm a domestic violence defense attorney here in California, and I help people put their cases behind them so that they can enjoy their lives and their freedom. And again, in this video, I am going to be explaining what to do as soon as you get that temporary restraining order, how to read it, what your next steps, your immediate next steps should be toward preparing to win this thing, to defeat this thing. Speaking of which, I'm also the creator of a course called Defeat the DVRO, in which I teach you everything that you need to know to win your restraining order hearing. This is something that I teach people who take the course. And if that is something that you're interested in, you can actually get your free first class. There's a link down below in the description box. Okay, so let's jump right in. Step one, what I suggest, and if you're watching this video, you may have already done this, is read the whole thing all the way through. This will satisfy your curiosity. If you are the type of person that wants to avoid problems and you don't really want to read it, you're going to have to just go ahead and read it. Read the whole thing. This is going to start the wheels turning in your mind of what is truth, what is a lie, and how to defeat it. Okay, so now you have read the whole thing, maybe not in super detail, and you have an idea of what they are saying. The second thing that you want to do is go through, read it for a second time, and look at a few key details. The first thing that you want to look for is the hearing date. The hearing date is going to be on a document that says DV109 in the upper left-hand corner. It's going to say Notice of Court Hearing. So take a look at that. And in item number three, it's going to say a court hearing is scheduled on the request for the restraining orders against the person in number 2, which is you if you were served with it. And it will say the date, the time, the room, and the name and address of the court. What I need you to do right now is put that in your calendar. Hopefully you use the calendar app on your phone and have all the reminders and regularly check that, but put it in your calendar right now. Make sure that you do not forget that. You don't let that date slip past. The second thing that you need to look at is what was ordered. So there's a variety of different orders that can be in a temporary restraining order. And you want to see what exactly the court actually said that you have to do or avoid doing. And the form to look at for that, and this is really important because the petitioner might have asked for certain things that the judge did not actually grant. Where you want to look at the temporary restraining order itself. DV110 is the court order. So this is something that the court prepared. Maybe the petitioner filled out some initial information, but this is going to be what the court actually fills out itself. Okay, and now go through each number and see if anything was checked. If anything says denied until the hearing, that's going to be really important because that means that the judge doubts something about either the petitioner's story or what the petitioner is asking for. So look through and see if there's anything that says denied until the hearing, and if there is, make a note of that. Maybe they're asking for example, someone to be protected or for you to stay away from a certain place, but it's not really clear why they're asking for that. Then the judge might select denied until the hearing. But if the judge selects denied until the hearing for example, number 10, no contact order, if it says denied until the hearing, then that means that the judge is really casting some doubt as to the veracity of the petitioner's story. And keep in mind that the judge that is actually going to be there for the hearing is probably not the same judge reviewing this. But it means that a judge looked at this and thought, that sounds weird, because normally they're going to grant everything. Now, for anything that says granted as follows, for example, number 11, stay away, you really need to make sure that you pay attention to that. Where do you have to stay away from? And it may be places that are very difficult for you to stay away from, but you need to know that if you violate this, it is a criminal offense, and violations of this are also a basis for the judge to grant the restraining order at the hearing to be for up to 5 years. So you want to, even if it's very inconvenient and horrible for you, as I know it is for many people in this situation, you want to make sure that you do abide by that. And that includes number 12, order to move out. Unfortunately, this is one of the key reasons why people file these restraining orders in the first place. They want the other party to move out. And so if you receive one of these at your home, then you're going to have to leave your home, and hopefully you have someone that you can stay with because you are going to have to move out. Now, if the restraining order at the hearing ultimately isn't granted, you can move back in, but you're still going to have to move out immediately, and that's one of the major hardships that come with these restraining orders. If you have children, make sure that you take a look at number 14, child custody and visitation. This is also another major reason why people file these things, to get a leg up on custody cases. If the two of you are getting divorced, one of you will go see a divorce lawyer, and the first thing they do is suggest filing one of these restraining orders, even if there was no abuse, because the default in California is 50-50 custody, but a lot of people want more than that, and this is one of the only ways that you can get it. Okay, step 3 for how to read a restraining order is go through a third time and actually type out the allegations. I'm not saying type out the whole form. What I mean is, and I'll give you an example right here, is for each allegation here, we're going to number 6 on DV100. Type out the date, type out the witness, which is listed, the date is listed on A, the witness is listed on B. Type it out. The reason is that look how messy this is, and this is my own handwriting. The tip I'm giving you here is something that I, as an attorney, do. So I know it may seem like a pain, but this is one of my secret weapons, not just to defeat people who don't have an attorney, but to defeat other attorneys. And this is one of multiple allegations here. To try to, during the hearing, flip through and read this messy handwriting is going to be very difficult. It's going to be very inefficient. And while you're trying to do that, you're not going to be able to listen and pay attention to what's going on, which is really important. Also, when you're preparing your case, you're going to want to be able to pull these allegations apart, pull them apart one by one and see, okay, for each allegation, if we dispute it, then what evidence do we have? Or what is my side of the story for that? And when it's all just a mess, it's in the other party's handwriting, it's going to be really difficult to do that. But if you type it all out, you can do a search. I mean, I ultimately would type out every single thing that was written in here so that if I'm like, you know what did the petitioner say happened on, Black Friday, for example, or what did she say happened on December 25th, or what was it about the bottle of whiskey? All I have to do is type in whiskey or type in December 25th or Black Friday, and I can very easily find that, no problem. Or wait a second, didn't she say in her paperwork that he hit her in the face? Now she's saying instead that he grabbed her arm. Let me find that. Well, I can find it in a second if I have it typed out on my computer. The next thing that I suggest that you do is scan in the entire document. If you have to do a phone scan, I guess you can do it, but make sure that you use an app like TurboScan and do a really good job, because you don't want to be using crappy pictures. You want to make sure that it's very, very clear and that it's very easy to find everything, because if you ever need to refer to these documents in court, or if the judge refers to a document, if you have everything scanned in as one long document, then it's going to be very difficult for you to locate. The last thing that I ever want to be doing in court is flipping through pages looking for something. And if it's electronic, I want to make sure that, okay, I have DV110, a temporary restraining order, saved as one file. I have DV100 saved as another file. So if I need to refer to one of them, I don't need to look through all of DV110 just to get to DV100. So to do this, look at the top of each document. I know you are served with a lot of them. Look at the top upper left-hand corner where it says DV100. Okay, that's one document. Separate out each document, have them saved separately. If you have physical copies, have them be separate as well. Organization and preparation are key to winning any type of litigation, including this restraining order. So as a first step to prepare, typing everything out, making sure that you feel nice and organized is so important to avoiding feeling overwhelmed and to ultimately winning your hearing. I hope that you found this video helpful. And look, I mean, if you've made it this far, you obviously really care about winning your hearing. You are perhaps considering representing yourself. If that is the case, then go ahead, get your free first class. You can learn everything that you need to know in an organized manner so that you can make sure that you are as prepared as possible for your restraining order hearing. You can get your free first class via the description box down below. And if you did find the video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.